You may have heard that China and Japan have some serious beef, but do you know why? For Europeans, the World War II started in September 1939 when Germany invaded Poland. For Americans, World War II started in December 1941 when Japan staged a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor. But for the Chinese people and many other Asian people, World War II started long before those two dates. It started on September 18, 1931, when the Japanese army invaded the city Shenyang. The war of resistance against Japanese aggression lasted for 14 years for Chinese people from 1931 to 1945. The Nanking massacre, during which Japanese soldiers slaughtered 300,000 people in one city within 6 weeks. They even organized beheading competition for soldiers to compete who can cut 100 heads in the shortest time possible. They also did medical experimentations on civilians, like putting a person in a freezer and then break the person's arms off and then put boiling water on the freezing arm. They also organized dozens of times of biological warfare across China, releasing germs like cholera, plague, anthrax, and typhoid to cause pandemics so they could kill massive numbers of civilians at low cost. You probably have seen these incredible ice sculptures on social networks. These winter wonders are created by the people in the city of Harbin in northeast China. During World War II, Imperial Japan invaded and occupied this city, and they installed a facility in the city to do human experiments and biological warfare. The notorious team of the Japanese army is called Unit 731, who disguised as an anti-epidemic and a water purification facility, but was in fact exploiting the region's subjugated people to explore human reactions to wartime hazards for troops, such as freezing temperatures, shrapnel wounds, cholera, and syphilis. In a special project in remote city Qiqihar, they subjected Chinese captives to blistering chemical agents. Their foremost objective, though, was to conduct experiments with infectious diseases that they think can be used as germ weapons, like plague, anthrax, cholera, typhus, and glanders. Ishishiro, the founder and director of Unit 731, developed a technique for infecting enemy populations with bubonic plague. Planes flying at a low altitude could spray millions of plague-infected rat fleas. The fleas would be released with bundles of grain. The rats, attracted to the grain, would be bitten by the fleas, sicken and die. Then, like in natural outbreaks, the fleas would find human hosts, or the bitten fleas would directly infect the targeted humans. This method of transmission was tested with success on captive Chinese people. The Japanese army launched multiple plague attacks in China's Hangzhou province, Jiangxi province, and Hunan province. When Japan was inevitably to be defeated in 1945, they were afraid that the outside world would find out about their crimes in China, so they destroyed their facilities and burned down some of the documents. They also didn't want the survival of the victims of these medical experiments, so they forced them to choose suicide by hanging or taking cyanide. To this day, Japan still refuses to admit this crime, hasn't paid any penny to the victims, and didn't even give an apology. If you're visiting the city of Harbin, make sure you visit the museum that exhibits proofs of the horrendous crimes of the Imperial Japan.